alla normativa o al contesto sociale e politico italiano, prendendo diciamo un po' il meglio, i pregi dei vari sistemi che vi illustreranno, che sono diffusi già in tutto il mondo, e cercando di eliminarne i difetti e di facendo un po', di fare un po' tesoro di tutto quello che si è detto anche in questi 2 anni sul fenomeno del leaking, per cercare di proporre una piattaforma che sia realmente democratica, realmente funzionale alla partecipazione popolare, al crowdsourcing, alla provenienza delle informazioni da vari ambiti. E quindi sono molto curioso, spero che siate anche voi molto curiosi di questo seminario così specifico ma anche secondo me così interessante. Lascio subito la parola a loro perché hanno tantissime cose da dirvi. Prego.
Grazie. Una cosa per mettere in chiaro subito, teoricamente questo talk deve essere fatto in inglese, perché c'erano sempre teoricamente delle persone oggi presenti al seminario di Wikileaks anglofone al quale volevamo comunque integrare all'interno della discussione, pertanto vi do questa possibile eventualità remota che se dovesse arrivare probabilmente succederemo sulla parte inglese. C'è qualcuno che vede questa cosa come un dramma epocale che non potrebbe sopravvivere?
Cioè,
no,
se la domandi così un po' retorica.
Allora, la prima slide è uno degli aspetti più importanti.
Non pensate male quando switchiamo in inglese.
Giusto, non pensate male. Chi siamo noi? Siamo nerd security expert? Siamo umani in questo mondo? Siamo degli internet entusiasti? No, noi siamo semplicemente dei random global X contributor. Questo è l'unico titolo di partenza che possono avere delle persone che contribuiscono a questo progetto. Se volete un paragone efficace, noi siamo un formicaio, la formica regina è irraggiungibile e noi siamo le formichine che stanno camminando. Cosa vogliamo fare? L'obiettivo di Global X in sintesi è creare una piattaforma software che possa fare in modo che il fenomeno del leak, che ci hanno detto che è molto brutto da parola, fare in modo che la crescita di nodi di leaking, ovvero siti, servizi che propongono, diffondono e sviluppano e utilizzano il leaking, supportano il leaking, si diffondano. Hi Daniel.
Hi. Let's go to English, please.
It's the start of the workshop.
Yeah.
And
With Greek, please.
Ci siamo riusciti. Sì.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, nice to meet you, lawyer.
Are you sure?
Are you? Yes, I'm sure. It's a pleasure.
We've met before.
Sono male anche a scorda.
No, just keep going. I mean, seriously.
Okay. So, going on, who we are, we already told you. Basically a random global X contributor. That means that there's no chief, there's no head of in global X projects. What we want to do, we want to make a software platform to allow all the interaction between the leakers, the editors, the node maintainers, and all the subjects that are involved within the leaking process. A platform that should be extremely easy to be set up and to be maintained, and that would allow the diversification of leak sites based on geography and on the context area, so that's to spread the local level leaking that would allow leaks that have impact even at very analyze the risk and duties of the different subjects involved in the leaking process, describe the different leak site that has born after the so-called WikiLeaks era. I don't know how WikiLeaks could evolve. And finally show how Global X methodology works. We will be pleased if you, Daniel, could also make an introduction about OpenLeaks and also to contribute in whatever point you would like to introduce. That's basically the agenda of all the area we'll speak about. It's somehow not comfortable to have the light in the eye. Basically, how leaking works, just one single slide. More that I would like to share. The leaker analyze which are the different methods and entry points that will allow him to send that kind of leaks to reach public media. There is a leak site that receives the data. The data may be evaluated by the leak site or maybe not. And after that data have to be sent to the targets that are typically journalists or activists or NGO. And then the target put the data into a context to produce valuable information. That means basically creating articles, providing it to public media to have the maximum impact. That's breaking news. Just a brief introduction, that's the most important things, just to get the context and the reason why we are working on such kind of projects. That's the leaking as an active political tool to enforce transparency in government. Generally speaking, leaking, we can say that it's a good practice to enforce transparency in government. I mean, there are a lot of different governments with a lot of different practice and a lot of grey area. In Italy, we know that there are a lot of grey area and very diffuse corruption levels. So this is something that we are doing with an international scope, but for sure we expect that also in Italy it could be somehow usable. People that have leaking capability, so is able to explain that something is not going the right way inside a public office or a public agency, have more democratic power. So we can think about the leaking as a key system to spot corruption and malpractice in governments. Leaking, sorry, but yes, for sure. This is the most important point of our goal, that the diffusion of leaking, from our point of view, is a key point to force government to implement more and more transparency, such as the so-called open government or government should at zero program that currently are getting implemented in several places in the world, some in US, in UK, in Australia, some in Canada, I don't know, in Germany something. In Estonia. And slowly we'll tell you about it. Generally speaking, government should at zero, this is the statement from the USA Obama administration, means implementing transparency, respect to the citizen, involving, making the government participatory and collaborative. That means involving the citizen in the decision-making process, but most important, being very, 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 very transparent with respect to the citizen on what the government is doing. One of the, also in Europe, there is a target for 2015 to have all the countries in the European Union to implement government should at zero programs. I don't expect that Italy will reach such a goal. Also because government should at zero programs, if implemented properly, means are a very strong, effective tool to spot corruption. And in any very corrupted country, that's something extremely important. Just to go quickly, one of the main important points of government should at zero, so-called open government programs, is called open data. Open data are a way for government to provide raw access to government database. If you go on data.gov.uk, for example, the English open data website, you will be able to direct